Well, round one of the playoffs is in the books. Josh Allen won his 5th straight wildcard game, which brings us here. Allen's Alpine, where many Josh Allen supporters have been encamped for weeks, even months. Now, our stay will be short-lived, so let's grab your gear, put on your goggles. You don't want to go snowblind. And let's traverse Mahomes Mountain. Your goggles. You're going to go snowblind. Yeah, good. The glare will kill you.
Y'all couldn't give him a line? Why I want to hear my man say something.
No, I've been up there waiting for this moment.
He's been up there waiting. He has been up there waiting.
The fact that I'm there present is line enough.
All right.
He's such a Josh Allen believer. The last segment we talked Bills-Ravens, he was like, game's toss-up. Just kick my feet up. Who knows? Let the best man win. All right. So sorry, buddy. So here's the deal. Loyal viewers know that come divisional round of the playoffs, the committee pares the list down to 8 teams for tiers. Mahomes Mountain is the 8 remaining quarterbacks. That's for loyal viewers. Disloyal co-hosts may whine and moan about that before the meeting, like the segment's going to suck, there's not enough guys, it's going to be boring. All of my guys are now not anywhere near the mountain. All of the quarterbacks that I've loved and believed in, of course, none of them are still playing. So what do you want me to say? So, in honor of that person, a reminder of who fell off the mountain this week, the 6 losing quarterbacks. Those guys, of course. Listen, Justin Herbert, next time he shows up on the mountain, it's going to be further down than he's used to. You have a 5-year grace period to live up to your talent. After that, it's just production. Russell Wilson, is he going to be a week 1 starter next year? I don't know. Bo Nix, excellent rookie season. Playoff game water kind of found its level, but he'll be happy with his placement next time he's on the mountain. Jordan, no, that's him falling down the mountain. Bake Show will be just fine. Bake Show.
Baker.
Yeah, Baker, even, again, they only had 44 offensive plays. Just unbelievable. And Sam Darnold. Will Sam Darnold be on the mountain week 1 of next year? Will he be on it? Because if you're not a starter, you're not on it. And so if he stays in Minnesota, who knows what it is. Now, to the mountain itself. 8 players left, which usually means everyone moves up, not Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
I mean, come on, man. Like, come on. You are seemingly driving your wide receivers to frustration in ways we've never seen previous in NFL history. 9-game winning streak. What's going on with the team? Passing game, awful. And then Brandon Graham's like, man, they're not even friends anymore. Then Drew's like, don't believe fake news. And now A.J. Brown's on the sideline reading Tony Robbins or someone, 10 ways to calm a troubled soul. Like, come on, Jalen. You're a bruised guy. You need to be better. 4th row, C.J. Stroud. Man, the Texans, I can't move C.J. up because the Texans desperately wanted to lose that game. It was like they had plans for this coming weekend, and it wasn't to go to Arrowhead and get their teeth kicked in. Tell you that much right now. But the Chargers wouldn't let him. CJ, now to his credit, that 3rd and 16 play when the bad snap, or I don't know if it was bad snap, but the fumbled snap, he had the poise to get the ball, make the big play, kind of flip the momentum of the game. And then in the second half, he was far better. But they're going to have to tighten it up if they're going to have any chance this weekend. All right, 3rd row. Jayden Daniels. I haven't put pencil to paper on this yet, but where does this rank on the greatest rookie quarterback seasons ever? Because for me, the most spectacular one I had seen was RG3. But he got hurt in the playoff game and they lost actually to a different rookie quarterback in Russell Wilson, who was also on the short list. That whole class, Andrew Luck was quite good that year. Obviously, CJ last year. Jayden feels different because so many of these games, they're pulling him out from the fire at the end. He's so poised. You guys were right that his mentality of, it's just another game, really served him well. It's an all-time rookie season. Jared Goff didn't play. He stays where he is. And Lamar, listen, moving up the mountain. That's all you got to do. Mountain's tough. Mountain's fair. Play a great playoff game. You move up the playoff mountain. Seems right to me.
Makes sense.
Second row. You'll see no movement on the second row. You know why? Because the mountain knows. Mountain's not surprised that Josh Allen at the Highmark Invitational balls out. Nobody kicks the teeth in of a 7 seed like Josh Allen and the Bills. It's like the NFL almost created the 7 seed just to juice Josh Allen's playoff stats. They love that game. And Matt Stafford, I don't know, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks, 5-1 record, 300 yards per game since he's gotten out of Detroit. Seems pretty good. And then atop the mountain, patiently waiting, timing birth of children to playoff bye weeks for the rest of the league is Patrick Mahomes. And just a quick reminder, just because we had the heresy of Allen's Alpine or whatever, the guy that some people thought shouldn't be atop the mountain, the playoff mountain, that's his ranks in NFL history in a handful of meaningful postseason stats.
Solid.
Greg Jennings, the floor is yours.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. CJ, somebody has to represent you. Let that be me. I'm going to just say this.
Disrespect. You get it like loud.
This is very disrespectful because if I am to remind the viewers of
That's really
last week's mountain.
good. Yeah, please do.
If we can.
Okay,
last week's mountain,
Do they have
I viewed it and I saw all these guys on this mountain and I saw CJ at the bottom, or I saw Jayden at the bottom of the mountain. I saw all these quarterbacks. Lamar was lower all season long. No one ever moved up past one.
Oh, you mean the 2-row jump?
And yet, CJ, you said, well, the Houston Texans tried to lose that game. Well, CJ didn't.
Really?
You just mentioned the 3rd and 16 play.
Yeah.
You mentioned his second half performance. He clearly outplayed Herbert, who you had, may I remind America, in front of CJ.
What do you mean in front of?
Going into this week.
No chance. Same
Going
row. They had to be same row. They weren't same row?
You had him in front. You just slid.
You mean left to right? There's no left to right.
You slid him over.
What do you
so
mean?
So Stroud, let's take a look because this is projected revolving around their playoff numbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at CJ's numbers.
Okay.
Because this is his record in the postseason.
Yeah.
2 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah.
And he started lower than Jayden, correct?
I can't. I don't.
No, he didn't. But Jayden was able to jump him.
Jayden jumped.
And with 1 win?
Yeah.
With 1 win?
Yeah.
I love what Jayden Daniels has been able to do. But he hasn't accomplished this. You talked about
it's a decent
rookie
argument.
You talked about rookie performances. Well, last year we saw CJ do this. He carried his team. He's the reason why we were talking about that team. This year, we wrote them off in the wild card round. Why are they even playing? What are they playing for? Broussard has been laughing at me all year long.
That is true. He has been laughing at you.
You're trying to jump ship. No, I am here.
Yeah.
We are here to stay. And the apology needs to be as Stroud as the disrespect.
Okay. Can I?
Especially after this week.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh, you don't.
So Greg's and the apologies for the graphical snafu, because Greg wanted to show you guys that Daniels was a row 5 guy and CJ was a row 4 guy.
Correct.
And then there it is. Here it is. Now we've got it.
Thank you,
Daniels
guys.
was there and Stroud was row 4. Again, not left to right, guys. So Herbert was not ahead of Stroud. Again, it's a weird, somewhat alphabetical order, not exactly.
Love was ahead of Stroud.
It either is or it is.
Again, Love was above him for sure.
Because
and
of
Jayden jumped all the way up.
All right.
So, if I may, just Greg, are you arguing that Jayden Daniels should be dropped?
I'm arguing that CJ won his game. He beat a guy that was in front of him, a team that everyone thought that they were going to lose to. He performed well. Why isn't he sitting where Jayden Daniels is? And Jayden just moved
I
up.
thought Jayden was.
He could have moved up just one row.
The
mountain is slippery. I
The
mean,
mountain is slippery.
But he
playoff
has
time.
great
Playoff
traction.
time, you can move up quite a bit. Listen, I guess I'm just a Jayden Daniels guy too.
Yeah.
Who knew? I didn't know. Brew, go ahead.
Well, since Greg read his bar at the bottom of the telecast,
More
I will
puns.
read mine.
Please.
The smartest in the room.
Says Lamar's tier 2.
Jordan's on his feet. Shades so sweet.
Move Lamar up!
With who? Who are we taking down?
Look, he's great in the playoffs, but Matthew Stafford, switch them.
Thank you.
Switch them. All right, and here's the thing, and I know you've talked about Lamar's, playoff performances when he was a young buck, and here we're gonna see the breakdown. First 4 playoff games, which all happened 4, 5, 6 years ago, versus the last 3 playoff games he's played in the last 4 years. Much better. All right, much better. Yeah. 2 of his last 3 playoff games, he's been great. All right, the other one struggled against the Chiefs, but still, threw
great in
almost
2 of the
300
last 3.
yards.
That's fair.
And so, and here's what I want to show you how a guy can get better. Matthew Stafford, let's see his first early in his career. That's 12 years actually worth on the left side with Detroit. He was 0-3, and the numbers aren't great. 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. He goes to the Rams as a more mature player in a better situation, obviously, and now he's lights out in the playoffs. So it does happen, and I'm saying it's happening for Lamar. Here's the other thing why I would move Lamar up. Lamar is obviously, we all know, a dual threat. Not only do you have to worry about the pass, but you've got to worry about the run, and that gets teams' defenses out of sorts. And then finally, Lamar is facing a team. Now, both guys, Stafford, are facing teams this week where they played well against them, right? Stafford had a 104 passer rating and 2 touchdowns, no picks in his last game against the Eagles. Lamar against the Bills, though, 135 passer rating and 3 total touchdowns, 1 running, 2 passing. So I got to move Lamar up next to Josh Allen ahead of Matthew Stafford.
So a few things. How Lamar did in the regular season against the Bills versus how Stafford did in the regular season against the Eagles has no relevance to this whatsoever. But secondarily, it seems like the case you made to me was that Stafford, years ago, different team, was not good in the playoffs. Fine. And the case you're making for Lamar is Lamar a few years ago, what he did shouldn't matter. I'm fine with just saying, you know what? Let's just evaluate both these players on who they've been in the playoffs the last 3 years. That's fine. Stafford's still ahead of him. Stafford's 5-1, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks. It's not 2 good games and 1 bad game. It's 5 awesome games and 1 good game.
Twice as many games.
Yeah.
And he's got, Lamar's got 7 touchdowns, 2 turnovers in his last 3 games, playoff games.
Yeah, and Stafford's got 15 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Yeah, but the touchdown ratio is about the same.
5 to 1 to 3.5 to 1. 3.5 to 1 to 5 to 1. Not quite the same. Listen. We moved Lamar up. Josh Allen was great. Mahomes obviously hasn't even gotten to play yet. He's been chilling. And Stafford, who already had over the last half decade an almost impeccable postseason resume, added to it last night. And so, it's a tough mountain. I don't know what to tell you. Tough mountain.
I think we've lost the plot, and I'm going to defend this guy. No one, not really the coach, a little bit, but and not as pass catchers. No one's defending this guy. Maybe Dusty and Cab. Jalen Hurts. Just move him up 1. Just move him up 1. That's it. Just move him up right next to C.J. Stroud. And I say, why? I don't know. Guy's won 11 games in a row. Does anyone care about that? Am I the only one that cares about how well Jalen has played in the last 11 games? Oh, Wildes, no, I want more yards. I'm not getting the yards. Okay, well, last year he had more yards. So do you want last year's statistics where he had more yards, or this year's where he's got more wins, completing a better percentage of his passes, a better TD to turnover ratio, it's cut in half, and a better passer rating? I would take this year and take the yards down just a little bit. And finally, my favorite part of a wedding, I got the wrong tone for this. My favorite part of the wedding You know when you go to a wedding?
Probably yours, drinks.
No. My favorite part of the wedding is when the DJ gets up there and they do this, everybody starts dancing. And it's like, all right, if you've been married for 1 year, you got to sit down. And everybody starts sitting down. That's what I do for the quarterbacks, too. So it's like, all right, if you're in the playoffs, keep dancing. And everyone's dancing. Like, all right, if you've never been to the Super Bowl, sit down. And 4 guys would sit down. It's like, all right. And then you'd have 4 guys still dancing, just by themselves.
So you want Hurts higher on the mountain than Josh Allen and Lamar?
No, I'm just moving them up one. I'm just moving. It's just.
But then what about the dancing? And who's sitting down? I don't understand.
They're sitting down because Hurts deserves I've been in the Super Bowl bump. That's it. Just like Goff deserves I've been in the Super Bowl bump. And Stafford and Mahomes deserve the we won the Super Bowl bump. And Mahomes deserves the I've won multiple Super Bowls bump.
I would agree with you on the Stafford deserves. However, when Bruce said move Lamar up and replace him with Stafford, I heard quite the amen from this side of the table. So maybe you don't necessarily agree that Stafford deserves the bump. But
just a bump.
Here's the thing. I actually, first of all, the Mountain is valuing Jalen Hurts this performance this year over his performance last year because last year, you know where he was in the Divisional Round Mountain? Nowhere, because his team lost. So he wasn't there. But the reason that I can't simply say it's working, they're winning, is because his teammate is not saying that.
Who cares?
I do.
I don't. We're 11-0. I'm an Eagles guy. It's 11-0. You want to read a book? Who cares?
Book therapy.
11-0.
Keeping
winning.
it calm.
Okay.
Not complaining.
Winning.
I'm with you.
I'm not going to name names, but I talked to a Super Bowl hero wide receiver that you all know. Had a big problem with that book. And
did Jalen Hurts have a problem?
If he did, what's he going to say?
He's a great leader.
Sirianni was fine with it.
Again, guys, what are these guys
You
going to say?
used to love the Eagles. Just an hour ago, you were an Eagles guy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.